What do you think is Guernsey's most urgent issue? Cost of living, homelessness, funding the fiscal deficit, or something else entirely? A lot of people worry about the cost of living. Pensioners worry that their pension won't go as far. People from all age ranges and socioeconomic backgrounds worry about the cost of living and the price of normal day items, which is only set to increase with the introduction of GST. For example, I can turn to social media now and read out a post where an individual was worried about his 2022 tax returns, which he hasn't received back yet. He writes, "I think that the deputies supporting GST need to explain how they think an agency that is incapable of carrying out its current responsibilities, in this instance his tax returns from 2022, is going to handle the new ones, i.e. the introduction of GST. And I think that's a very valid point. Local business owners too have voiced concerns over the extra costs of implementing GST for their businesses. My own view is that GST is not the answer. It's effectively a kicking the can down the road exercise. For if the state can't get social and tax right, how can they get another tax right on top of that too? There are other viable solutions out there, territorial taxes for example. But I think that the key issue is Guernsey's unique. It's a unique community, it's a unique island, it has a unique infrastructure. So we really should be looking for a tailored, bespoke package rather than just fixating on one or two or three main ideas. We should really be tapping into talent and experience of the locals that have to live with these laws, that run businesses here, that live under such legislation. Another issue is the housing crisis. And I don't just mean homeless people, the vulnerable people who tend to live out in the street or in hostels or anywhere that offers them any shelter from the elements. The second type of person is the person that's fully employed. I spoke to a gentleman just the other day who lives in his car. On any given day you'll find him in a West Coast car park sleeping in his car. He's full-time employed, but he cannot afford the cost of living. And the third is arguably our young, who just simply can't afford to live here. A lot of issues stem from our current legislation, which encourages development mostly in St. Peter, Paul and St. Sampson's. On the other side of the coin, we do need to encourage growth and infrastructure. For example, look at the development plans for St. Sampson's. Although a long time away, it's good that people are thinking about the future. Having worked for both Aurigny and the state of Guernsey, I have first-hand experience of how the current problems that we're facing today came into existence and how they continue to exist. So I am aware of the internal issues facing these organisations. Not only have I worked inside the system, so to speak, I've been pressing up against it for the past 3 to 4 years. For example, I've done a lot of work in my own time helping vulnerable people, for example, vulnerable children and sexual assault victims. I also co-founded a charity, Man Club, and I set up the People's Trust. Many people say that there is a growing divide between the politicians and the electorate, that they don't have their ear to the ground, that they're not listening to what people are saying, that they're not communicating with voters. We really need to involve the electorate more closely in passing legislation and laws. Another issue is a lack of accountability. Politicians can make as many promises as they want in their manifestos, but ultimately, once they, or if they are elected, there's no way of holding them to account. Likewise, we're one of the only countries in the Western world not to have freedom of information legislation. I want to change this. A lot of islanders have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. They are an untapped resource. We should be tapping into them and their experiences to better help run the island. We have great challenges and opportunities ahead of us. And with your help, with your vote, we can make this next political term the best one yet.